those of you who are with us right now, who are watching live and watching later, thank you so much for jumping in with us. This is the Ranger SCSF after show of our news segment where we are going to cover all things Helldivers 2. I have a couple questions I have lined up for me to answer and to talk about this patch, because why not talk about it? Why not go in depth about it? But as you all have questions and want to add to this conversation, this will be a fixed time between 15 and 20 minutes. And let's dive in on some questions. So my first question, I'm going to go and answer, and Afskanko, if you want to interject, feel free. Let's talk about this new patch 202. And what's my favorite thing from the patch? So, and that is, what better fix that they could do is to decrease enemy spawn rate while progressing the raise flag objective and spread democracy missions. Can we just be honest? The spread the flag missions, I have been avoiding like the plague on level 10s, because some of them get really hot if you don't have a team that's coordinated enough and have the right builds to deal with the amount of enemies you go against. Now, I know some people probably do lower levels, but there were some times when the Terminid level 10s were really, really rough. I'm not even gonna lie, it was rough. So that's probably my favorite adjustment in this specific patch. There's so many other things that they did, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if the social and SOS and joining thing is completely fixed yet, because I tested some things today joining people, and when I tried to join them, they said 1 out of 4, they had a full lobby. So I think stuff is still being fixed. Officer Will, is there any favorite changes of this new patch that you liked?
Well, okay, so hear me out. I know it's just mainly like just fixes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really anything like major. It's just a lot of the stuff that's kind of been like on the list for a while. I mean, honestly, I wasn't even that like the raise the flag mission wasn't even that bad. If anything, they could have pushed the spawns back, and it could have been like a cool.
Oh, like not as close.
Yeah, like gun them down from far away type of deal, as opposed to it being like 20 feet away from you, and it's just like you get like a Bile Titan on you.
No time to react.
Like, kind of the same thing, like almost with the same thing with like the hybrid draw, how that spawns super close. Like you could even like take all those and kind of push the encounters back. I feel like could have been better, because when they change spawn rates, sometimes it's just like it gets broken, and either it actually is even worse, or there's like nothing. Which, I mean, I guess people won't complain about no enemies to finish an objective, but then it gets kind of boring. So it's like you need like a happy medium. But
I agree.
Let me see, what else did they change? I mean, SOS beacons. There's a lot of issues with SOS and stuff. So, I mean, hopefully it feels better. I mean, yeah, you see a lot of stuff like glitched. I mean, there's still a lot of known issues that they should.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I wish they would fix the strategy and ball balance. That's probably like the one really annoying one.
Yeah, especially when it's unpredictable. Yeah,
because like you find like a nice position for like a turret, and it just bounces, and it's just like inside of like a crater. And it's just aggravating. But I think it's not a bad patch. It's just a lot of just little stuff.
How about this? The reinforced scout strider does not telegraph its rocket attacks. Do you understand what they mean by telegraph? Not telegraphing?
Telegraph means like gives you an indicator that it will do the attack. Like how the rocket devastator crouches and plants to shoot the rockets. It's talking about the rocket strider just shoots the rocket, just no difference, no wind up. That's what it means by telegraph.
The rockets are ginormous too.
Oh yeah, and they also shoot the rockets even if you shoot off the rocket. Like if you shoot the rockets off their sides, it'll still fire the rocket.
It shoots an invisible rocket. So you're telling me that they're being still powered by the ghosts of Malevelon Creek.
Yes, and so that's what they mean when they say telegraph. Like maybe they'll add in like a stance, like a bracing, before they do it. Is what I'm assuming is what they'll try and do.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I catch up on any extra comments in here. By the way, Catwalker Full Baked, welcome in. And Mystic, welcome in. And Nightmare, of course, didn't get to say that yet. It's not a treasonous thought. It's not a treasonous thought if it's actually true right now, because that's what it feels like when they're shooting invisible rockets. I think that's the main stuff that I could think of on that section of things. Now, there is another question that I want to ask and for us to talk about, because I think this one will bring up a lot of conversation. So again, I'm going to be watching the clock. But favorite weapon against Terminids. My personal favorite weapon when I go on Terminids and I dive, I always use my Democracy Officer armor, so Democracy Officer protects. I always run the crossbow and Senator, and I always run the recoilless. Like, that is my go-to. And with stratagems, I just bring whatever the heck I'm feeling, other than, you know, using, of course, the recoilless rifle. That's my main build for bugs, and I love it the most. I think it's awesome. But I will say, if I really want to spread managed democracy efficiently and quickly, just to the smaller enemies, not the heavier mediums, I guess you could categorize the Brute Commander as medium. But the new machine gun, not the machine gun you get when you start the game, not the Stalwart, the one you get when you start, since they decrease the reload time, I've really enjoyed that, pairing that with not just the Guard Rover that shoots the lightsaber or laser, but the one that shoots normal Liberator ammo. I've really enjoyed that combination. So that's mine. Officer Will or Conco, do you guys want to say yours? Anyone in chat, please mention yours and I'll throw it up.
Yeah, for me, the recoil is, after that big patch they did, feels amazing. It's probably one of the best stratagems in the game to bring in both fronts. But I have to say honest, the other day I was playing with the normal guard dog, the one you were mentioning. It was such a pleasure not to get shot by your own rover.
Oh, true. But when you do get shot, it hurts more. I think I got shot once, but it hurts more.
Yeah,
at least for me.
But with the laser rover, it's so common for you to get lasered or set on fire. So it's a nice change. And then I have to be honest, the Quasar Cannon still feels amazing to me. Like, I was using the rover, the Quasar Cannon, and I brought the Rail Cannon Strike. So as soon as I saw Bile Titan, because the Rail Cannon Strike now one-shots Factory Striders and Bile Titans, and the Quasar Cannon can one-shot a Charger or an Impaler, I think that was like a nice setup or loadout that I was using. I really enjoyed that one.
Okay.
Just to change recoilless that everyone is using so much, to be honest.
Yeah, and Fullback mentioned regular guard dog is the best doggo.
It's a good boy. He's a good boyo.
Indeed. How about you, Officer Will?
I'd say for me, I'm still kind of feeling out like all the new weapons and stuff, but I do like the crossbow. I almost want to start using the Breaker Incendiary again because I've been running Supply Pack, but I've been running the new pistol, the plasma pistol. It's been kind of fun. Even the Purifier too, but I also like the Halt, but just using the stun. And you can kind of use that as your stun instead of a stun grenade, and can use like thermites, or I've even started taking throwing knives because they can actually stun stalkers pretty effectively as well.
Okay.
You can use three throwing knives can kill a stalker, and every throwing knife stuns it. So it can actually be a super good, use of it. So, and then I'll bring maybe the Stalwart with the supply backpack. And just you can keep just spamming knives with the supply backpack because it's 100 knives. It's kind of crazy.
Heck yeah.
And the crossbow can help do bug holes and help blow up bug butts and stuff. And it's pretty cool. I've been kind of mixing and matching stuff. It's just been having a lot of fun. And I'll bring the railgun or something for heavy armored things to go with it because it's just cool. I've been liking that. I also like the autocannon for bugs, actually.
Oh, you've been enjoying. Okay, you've been flak.
Different change.
Flak ammo or?
Just regular ammo, but in a pinch, if there's big hordes, I will pull out the flak. But the flak does blow up on dead bodies at the moment, so
yeah, I was
gonna kind of get messed up.
Have you killed
it is
your own Helldiver with it? Because I almost got close to.
I have not killed my Helldiver yet with the flak stuff, but I've gotten ragdolled by it. Okay. But it didn't do much damage, it just kind of ragdolled.
Gotcha. Thank you, Officer Will and Officer Conco, for your insight on that. I know we had a couple people mention the different loadouts that they enjoy. I'm going to go through, I think I see 2-ish, maybe a couple more. So Full Bake said, Breaker Spray and Pray, and yeah, the MG43 is so good.
You're meaning with the spray and pray.
Have you enjoyed the Breaker Spray and Pray against Terminids, Will?
It's bad.
It's not good? Okay. Fair.
It's not
hey,
good.
hey,
It's
and
still,
that's
it
okay.
needs a
That's
buff
okay.
still. It needs more buffies.
Yeah.
Like you'll spray your 25 shots, but you might kill like 3 warriors.
Yeah.
It's still weak.
Strider, you think you can show on stream the loadout picture that we were working? I kind of want to give a sneak peek to Cutwalker, because I know he loves to share the loadouts he makes. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, Catwalker and Full Bake, you're gonna love this image I'm gonna show you. But Catwalker mentioned a loadout one to read.
Yeah, he mentioned
I'm not breathing enough.
Deliberator
I'm just so
Carbine
excited.
or
Yeah.
Tenderizer, Grenade Pistol, Thermite, Jetpack, Flamethrower, or MG43, the machine gun, with
physique
big
every
physique,
time.
extra armor padding, or 45, and he changed it up a bit. So we're going to make a bigger announcement on the Discord, but any loadouts you guys have, share it with us.
Mystic
either
Notes.
on on a DM or just in a channel, and we can set it up and try to make a cool image that Strider is going to give you a sneak peek
Right now.
shot. There we go. Look at that. Looks amazing.
So any comments from anybody on this loadout? I'm gonna keep this up because I know there's a delay. I'm gonna keep it up for at least a minute or two. But this is what we call the Democracy Officer loadout, officially from the Ranger SCSF. It's approved by the Ministry of Defense, of course. Gear up with a reliable and powerful loadout, only to be wielded by the most skilled Helldivers. Pack a punch with a reliable Senator, Scorcher, and Impact Grenade. This build ensures you can complete any mission against any enemy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where's your support weapon? No support weapon? Nope, just a shield pack, 500 kg, orbital precision strike, and 380. If you ask Officer Will right now, he will, I know he'll approve this loadout.
I do indeed approve, especially the 380.
Indeed, the Democracy Officer is not a loadout for anyone. As you said, there's no support weapon. You only get the shield. So it's not an easy loadout to use, but it can be very resourceful.
You better hit your shots, bro.
Yeah, you've got to hit your shots. Remember, the Scorcher can be shot in full auto now, so be careful with your ammo consumption. You can go through it quite quickly now.
And the Scorcher can also take out gunships, by the way. Good to know.
Yeah. And and Nightmare mentioned this. Nightmare, this is a great comment, by the way. Why need support weapons when he has support aiding him? His fellow Helldivers.
He is the weapon of support.
I love that. Nightmare, I love that. And by the way, everybody, I just want to mention this. I know Nightmare is going to be like, why'd you say this? But I'm going to say this about Nightmare. Nightmare is cooking up some cool character lore. And I want to say this to everybody again, if you guys need help with your own character lore, we love doing that kind of stuff here. We have other Discords that love doing it too. And let us know. Because like I mentioned earlier, if you are into that type of like storytelling and you love bringing stuff into Helldivers, Fanmade, I will be putting out another form that you can fill out and have an opportunity to be showcased on my new segment, and I'll kind of do my best to add in some cool stuff to it as well. So, next question: favorite weapon against the bots? My personal favorite loadout that I generally run with bots is either Democracy Officer or an Explosive Protection Armor. Usually medium is what I stick with. I've done light armor, but I just don't think it's the smartest thing. My main weapon I usually use on it, I did enjoy the Purifier at a time, but I've honestly been enjoying weapons that hit a bit harder. So the Senator has the main secondary. The primary I run, I've honestly liked the crossbow, but I have to say the Tenderizer isn't too bad and the Diligence isn't too bad on it. I've been trying to use the new War Bonds SMG, and I don't know. I have to put it on semi, and the recoil is so much. It's rough. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's rough. So, what do you guys, Officer Will and Conco, whoever comes first?
For
Go ahead, Conco.
me, thank you. One of the weapons I've been using the most on both fronts is the Adjudicator. I like it. I think it feels like a good assault rifle. It's got a nice scope, a good mag, and I like how it looks, to be honest, as well. So I know it's not the most meta weapon, but I enjoy the trigger every now and then.
I did try it. I was impressed by it. Just adding that.
I'm a memer, so my favorite's the Constitution right now.
Really? Okay.
Just because it's fun. It's my challenge gun, bro.
I'm a hardcore Helldiver. I've done everything else.
Yeah, it's great. It's a fun gun. No, I'm just kidding. Well, actually, no, I have been using it unironically, and then I'll like use it with sometimes a jetpack, sometimes like a supply pack, and I'll run like HMG, or I'll just run the autocannon because it's just good in like every facet.
Autocannon, yeah.
And then I'll run. I've been running strafing runs a lot more.
Oh yes.
Since they got like the double buff on it, and it's been pretty good. And then I've been running like Gatling Barrage, and then I'll sometimes run a turret, but on bots, turrets are a little goofier.
True.
So I also sometimes will bring the HMG emplacement for shooting down like gunships, or when you're overrun, you can snipe like multiple Hulks. It is really good flak, the HMG emplacement. And it's good. It absorbs good damage too. It's very survivable now.
Which is good because I've seen so many people actually not use it because it wasn't survivable. But now that it is,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it can take a good few rockets, a good few hits. It can take some melee hits even, and it's actually pretty decent. So don't sleep on it. Like if you see a gunship factory in the distance or like a double one, you could post that up and have like a partner go and set the hell bomb where you're just shooting down the gunships, and it's actually pretty good. Pretty legit.
Yeah.
That's
Gotcha,
what I'd say is
gotcha.
my favorite bot loadout.
So, and this is Catwalkers. I've been using the crossbow, Senator, Thermite, light armor with scout passive, jetpack, and the anti-material rifle, but I can tweak it depending on the mission for bots. Okay. Scout isn't bad as long as you, of course, you have others helping you and you keep on moving. The big thing about bots I've realized is you have to go from cover to cover. It's cover to cover combat with the bots. Even if it's a small cover, you're still getting ragdolled, unfortunately. But at least you're not dying. Straight on shots from those fortified Striders, one of those rockets in the face. I have tried it. You will die unless you have one of the explosive protection armors. I think it's a bit rough. It's a bit rough. So, we're running out of time here, but two last things. I'm going to give those in chat time to answer. So, best way to super cred farm. And lastly, let's talk about the super citizen migration. So those of you who have thoughts on that, throw them in. But what we're going to do is the best way to super cred farm. What I have found, and Officer Will and Officer Conco butt in if I'm incorrect, of course, I usually run between level difficulties of 2 or 3. I find a planet that does not have a ton of like rocks and ravines and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to lie, the planet that we were fighting on the other day, was it Sakura that we lost the defense on? I think it was Sakura. But anyways, it had a lot of those like kind of valleys and ravines where your supplies would drop on the top of it. And it drove me nuts because I kept on forgetting. But I find ones that are very flat, very open. Deserts are good. Sandy ones are good. So then you can see all the POIs easier. So then you can get all those escape pods. You can get buddy bunkers and all that. And you now can probably run that dead sprint with what's the stim, the air experimental infusion. You really don't need health pod optimization, but you need stamina. And then you need the speedy evac stratagem booster if you have a full team. Because that means when you call in the actual Pelican, you have time, it cuts it in half, I believe. It cuts it around half. So you lose a minute or two. So you can actually extract faster and get down to the next mission. And then you can be, again, your super cred farming. And don't forget to run a light armor with the scout passive so you can find all the things. Anything to add, Officer Will and Conco?
I think that's about right. Scout passive, light armor is decent. Bring a jetpack if you want for faster, runs. Make sure you bring something explosive.
Yeah.
Something, because it's nothing more embarrassing than dropping down to super credit farm and you forget to bring an explosive.
Crossbow's good.
Ask me how
I wish
I
I
know. Yeah.
I wish I would ran the Eruptor more. I just don't.
Yeah,
I feel like I hurt myself more than
Raptor's
use
too
it.
sluggish right now.
Because that used to be my
Well,
main.
it's always been sluggish, but
Yeah. Crossbow though, one-handed crossbow.
yeah, crossbow is just like the obvious superior choice at the moment. It's just it's not. I mean, it doesn't have the shrapnel quotation marks that the Eruptor has, but it handles faster, shoots faster. Sure, the reload's slow, but I mean, so does the Eruptor's reload, and then it's just. And it's got the one-handed, you can shoot as you run potential as well. So, I mean, it's... Yeah, sure, it's got, drop, but you can factor for that.
Yep.
Once you, use it enough. So, the Eruptor's kind of in a weird spot right now.
Yeah.
Excuse my yawn.
No, you're good. I'm yawning too, just because it's been a very busy day, guys. But Mystic mentioned this, and I don't know. I've tried. So I'm just gonna read what Mystic said. So far, I've been giving the Commando a chance, and it's been very good. It's able to one-shot bot fabricators. I've not been able to. I don't know if I've one-shot fabricators with it. I thought it was 2 shots.
I'm pretty sure the Commando can one-shot charger butts now too.
Oh, it can?
I think you can one-shot charger butts, yeah.
And again, that's a good thing for everybody to know. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-shot on a fabricator, but if it's 1, I'm happy to be wrong, because I will definitely test that more out when we do some bot drops. Because we'll probably gonna get to Vernon Wells and do a drop there later tonight for the Ranger SCSF secondary objective. But yeah, so lastly, everybody, let's talk about the Super Citizen migration as we wrap up here. Yeah, so Nightmare said it takes 2. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the Super Citizen migration now. The operation that was a fan-made name from the Helldivers wiki is Courageous Exodus, and that's specifically talking about how all the Super Citizens have been very excited on the planets that are right next to the Gloom to actually work on the DSS. But for the DSS, as it said in the info about our updates from Coretta Kelly, I believe it is, in Ministry of Truth, that it needs to be staffed. So with this Courageous Exodus, as we defend these planets, they're being all in a great exodus and migration, you can even call it, or just a transfer of staff and implementation of staff onto the DSS. Now, with what I read, and you guys correct me, I believe Ministry of Truth, and I should say Ministry of Humanity, has already taken their applications and accepted them, and that's why they're moving them there. With that's how I interpreted when I read it. I've heard some people thinking that they're still working and applying for positions on the DSS, but I believe the ones that are being migrated there are ones that are going to be serving and have already been accepted with their applications. Because I know they had to go through a strict process to vet Super Citizens to work on the destroyer, on the Democracy Space Station, because of possible treasonous dissidents. And of course, I don't want to wish upon that on the DSS. None of us do. But I know once these people are implemented, we'll have to defend it to make sure things like that don't happen. And Meridia AI, of course, helped us with that when she was there helping getting things squared away on the security end, like we talked about. For those of you who are watching the Q&A, thank you so much for coming by. Stay vigilant, stay ready, stay steady. We will be back next week with more info and all things Helldivers 2. Have an amazing day, amazing week, and we'll see you Helldivers next time. Thank you, Rangers and Helldivers, for choosing us to be your Super Earth Update Network. And we want you to join us Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. CST for drops wherever Super Earth requires. Our Discord link is below, and we would like to enlist you with our Rangers of Super Earth Special Forces. Drive safe and see you in the next news video.
You are the best of the best. Live up to your name.